Welcome back to our coding journey. In part 1, we dipped our toes into the world of programming, exploring the basic building blocks of code. We learned that computers think in precise instructions, much like a recipe. Each line of code tells the computer to perform a specific action. These actions, when combined, create powerful programs and applications. Now let's dive a bit deeper. Imagine you're baking a cake. You wouldn't just throw all the ingredients together without measuring. In coding, we use variables to store information, much like containers hold ingredients. These variables come in different data types like numbers, text, strings, or true, false values, booleans. Just like you choose the right measuring cup for flour or sugar, you select the appropriate data type for your information. For instance, to store your name, you'd use a string variable. This tells the computer to create a container labeled name and put the text John inside. Next, we need to control the order in which our code runs. This is where control flow comes in. Think of it as the recipe steps. You wouldn't bake the cake before mixing the ingredients. We use statements like if, else, and loops to guide the program's execution. For example, if age is greater than or equal to 18 print, you can vote. Else print you're not old enough to vote yet. This code checks if the variable age is greater than or equal to 18. If true, it prints you can vote. Otherwise, it prints a different message. Imagine having to write the same set of instructions every time you want your program to perform a specific task. That would be tedious. Functions are like reusable blocks of code that perform a particular action. They're like mini programs within your program, making your code cleaner and more efficient. For instance, you could create a function to calculate the area of a circle function, calculate area, radius, return 3.14 times radius. Now, whenever you need to calculate the area, you can simply call this function with the circle's radius. A world of languages: JavaScript, Python, and HTML, CSS. Just like we use different languages to communicate with people around the world, programmers use various coding languages for different purposes. JavaScript adds interactivity to websites, making them dynamic and engaging. Python is a versatile language used for web development, data science, and more. HTML and CSS form the backbone of web pages, defining their structure and style. Each language has its strengths in syntax or grammar. Choosing the right one depends on your project goals. Practical coding: building your first projects. The best way to learn to code is by doing. Start with small, manageable projects to apply your knowledge. Build a simple website. Use HTML to create the structure, CSS for styling, and JavaScript for interactivity. Create a basic calculator. Use Python or JavaScript to perform arithmetic operations. Develop a simple game. Challenge yourself with a number-guessing game or a tic-tac-toe. These projects will solidify your understanding and boost your confidence. Tips for efficient coding. Here are some tips to code efficiently. Write clean and readable code. Use meaningful variable names and add comments to explain your logic. Test your code frequently. Catch errors early on and ensure your program works as intended. Don't be afraid to ask for help. Online communities and forums are great resources for support and guidance. Practice regularly. Consistent practice is key to mastering coding skills. Resources for your coding journey. The coding world is vast, and numerous resources are available to aid your learning. Online platforms: Codecademy, Khan Academy, Free Code Camp, interactive tutorials, W3 Schools, Mozilla Developer Network, MDN, books, Eloquent JavaScript, Python Crash Course, coding communities, Stack Overflow, GitHub. Explore these resources and find what works best for you. Embrace the coding adventure. Learning to code is an ongoing journey filled with challenges and rewards. Embrace the process, be patient with yourself, and celebrate your progress. Remember, every expert programmer was once a beginner. With dedication and practice, you too can unlock the power of coding and bring your ideas to life.